We're out looking for ghost towns today, and we are in South Dakota. We're starting here in Lilly, which actually has an interesting story because in 2010 it was one of the official towns. It would have been one of the 10 smallest towns that I probably would have visited, and had a population of 4. And it was dissolved in 2017. And now it's basically a ghost town. There may be a couple people living here. Let's take a walk around and check it out. So this is a very authentic ghost town. There are several cool buildings and things that you don't see in a lot of ghost towns, but this is an interesting one. So Humphrey Drug, 1904. So Vice President Hubert Humphrey's grandfather was born here in Lilly, and his dad was born here and ran Humphrey Drug. Hubert Humphrey Sr. was him. And this is where the drugstore was. Now, Hubert Humphrey was not born here, but not too far from here, Wallace, South Dakota. And yeah, but there's where the drugstore was. That's the mailman right there, actually, and dropped off something in the mailbox, so must be someone still living here. This is very cool. They've kept the 1900 Lilly bandstand. Oh, it's a replica. It says replica of the Lilly bandstand, exactly where it stood a century ago. So, not the original, but still cool. And that would have been the post office, 57250. I like how they have the district champs in basketball, the state finalists and things like that. Kind of looks like it's still operating. On this other side, it looks like they have a bit of a museum for Lilly. The aptly named Scenic, South Dakota, right on the edge of Badlands National Park here in Pennington County. So this area was part of the traditional homeland of the Lakota people. The nearby Badlands and the prairie surrounding the area were important hunting and travel areas for the native tribes. 1876, following the Black Hills Gold Rush and reduction of the Lakota lands, the region was open to non-native settlement. Ranching gradually expanded across western South Dakota. 1906, Scenic was founded as a railroad town along the Chicago, Milwaukee, St. Paul, and Pacific Railroad. A bank, newspaper, drugstore, barbershop, blacksmith shops, churches, a school, and other businesses started to pop up in Scenic. In the 1920s, it reached its peak with a population of about 250 people. The Great Depression severely affected the community. Businesses began closing. Residents moved to larger towns and cities. From the 50s to the 70s, continued rural depopulation hurt Scenic. Many buildings became abandoned, although the town retained its post office and a couple businesses. In the 1980s, the abandonment of many rail lines around South Dakota continued the decline. The Milwaukee Road line here through town was eventually abandoned as well. In the 2000s, local businessman and former rodeo performer Twyla Merrill gradually purchased most of the town's remaining properties. As businesses closed and residents left, she put it up for sale for $800,000. So who purchased Scenic? It was a Filipino church named Iglesia Ni Cristo. Some call it a religious cult, as it was started in 1914 by Felix Supremo. Around 2% of the Filipino population practices this religion. They've announced no plans for Scenic in the future yet. Live in Rochford?
5.
5 people.
Yep.
As you can see, there's still a little life left in this ghost town of Rochford, South Dakota. Nice little area out back from the saloon to hang out, maybe listen to some live music. Stop by the Happy Dog Cafe and I think we found the happy dog. What's up, buddy? I'll take it. Hi. You're the happy dog. In 1876, 3 hunters accidentally discovered what became the Montezuma gold mine. Hopeful miners flocked to the area, staking claims along Little Rapid Creek. The first cabin that established the future site of Rochford was started in February 1877 when M.D. Rochford built a cabin there. In March of that year, an official mining district was set up, and in May of 1878, Rochford laid out the town. Mining and mills contributed to much of the town's growth. By December 1878, the town had a population of 500. For a time, it was rumored that the western part of Pennington County here would split and become Martin County and would make Rochford the county seat, but no such action was ever taken. At its peak, there were over 200 homes, a school, and a street lined with stores and covered sidewalks. No one in the town died until 1904 when Alex McCall was accidentally shot. Therefore, there was no cemetery for a long time. Pretty interesting. You see a shot of the whole town right there. This is Ardmore, and so this is Highway 71 in South Dakota. And if you go about a mile that way, you'll get to Nebraska, and it'll turn into Nebraska Highway 2. And so we're right down here on the very southernmost point, kind of in the southwestern part of South Dakota. And pretty interesting town. It is very quiet. Be surprised if there's more than single-digit amount of people that live around here. There's a couple houses kind of on the outskirts of town, but I'm not sure in town. But let's go check it out and learn more. Got an interesting little collection here. Rocks and shoes. This would be kind of the Ardmore Mall. Some Christmas decorations. Ardmore was founded along the Chicago, Burlington, and Quincy Railroad line in 1889. May have been named after local teacher Dora Moore, although some historians believe it could have been borrowed from Ardmore, Oklahoma. Developed into a classic Western railroad community, cattle ranching became the area's primary industry. In around 1900, the notorious outlaw Doc Middleton settled here in Ardmore, bought property, opened a saloon, and even served as a lawman for a time. The town's biggest challenge became water. Local supply was scarce and often too acidic to drink safely. Repeated droughts made farming extremely difficult. 1911 is reported there's about 150 people that lived here, although many early homesteaders had already abandoned their claims. 1927, President Calvin Coolidge visited Ardmore while spending the summer at nearby Custer State Park, attended an annual picnic at a nearby farm, giving the tiny town one of the most unusual presidential visits in history. Locomotive technology eliminated need for trains to stop for water, removing the railroad function that originally created the town. In 1980, the last official census recorded a population of 16, although there's far less than that today. It's the southernmost community in all of South Dakota. We're just west of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, here in Buffalo Ridge. Right over there is an old convenience store, kind of gas station, and then across the way there's a ghost town. And we're gonna see, is this a regular ghost town or what kind of ghost town is this? So I've seen a lot of ghost towns on this channel. This might be a little bit of a unique one for us. Before we check out the ghost town, once you go inside, it is a bit of a convenience store, and they have a lot of different odd things here. There's some things to see, some fireworks to buy if you want. They also have some snacks. You can get gas here. But yeah, just kind of a cluster of a bunch of stuff. Let's go check out the ghost town.
Moccasins or foot coverings were made at home by the father with tools brought with him from the eastern part of the country. The tanning of the leather was a difficult operation for the individual family. The hair had to be scraped off the hides and then turned over to continue the cleaning process. The hide was usually soaked in lime and salt water during the tanning process.
Rest assured, there's no reason to be scared of Singing Sam. However, this photo I was telling you about, that just may be a good reason to be scared. Now, even though Sam's over 90 years old, the old fella can still rock and roll. So hit it, Sam.
That's why they call it Buffalo Ridge. I don't think these are real burials. I don't think Wild Bill was buried here, but adds to the quirkiness. I'm guessing this place looked a little different when it was first built, but it's still pretty cool. So he said some of them work and some of them don't.
Windows closed for the Buffalo Creek current as we see before you. The lifeline was tied closely to the successful buffalo hunt. The buffalo hide would be used for their houses and clothing.
Very unusual. It's like a ghost town of a ghost town. It's like they tried to represent a ghost town and then it became a ghost town itself.
This shop is the hub of town. People from miles round look to the Smith as general repairman. Puts new steel tires on wagon wheels, ropes on wash tubs, and from time to time forges a hinge or two. He is the jack of all trades and usually a sober, God-fearing citizen. Have to be formed to fit each hook. The forming is done by heating each hook. The very slow process. Flies and other insects follow horses and nimble pigeons. To keep the animals quiet so they won't kick while being shot. But when we shoot flies, we'll want to fish.
That's pretty interesting and strange and creepy.
Howdy, I'm John Parrott, better known as Potato Creek Johnny in these parts. I came to the Dakota Territory from the country of Wales in England in 1883, looking for adventure. I had high hopes of being a Dakota cowboy in the Black Hills. At 4 foot 3 inches tall, though, and just 17 years old, I wasn't big enough. I had many jobs, but being short was a problem.
This one doesn't work. I feel like if they don't work, they don't really fix them. I mean, kind of amazing they're probably still using the same technology when they created the place. Oh my goodness, look at this. Well, that's the last building. Let's head back to the store. Once you're back inside, the grand finale is this saloon, and the attendant will turn on the animatronics for you. The big finale here. What a strange ghost town to end our ghost town trip. So 4 real ghost towns and 1 fake ghost town that kind of became its own type of ghost town. So hope you enjoyed it. I'd recommend visiting any of these 5 ghost towns if you're ever in South Dakota.